Okay, this video is for 7.6a, rational exponents. So we're going to convert each radical expression into its equivalent rational exponent expression. But the common theme among all the problems on this worksheet is that there will be negative numbers again. So negative fractions, in other words. So we want to do the exact same thing, but then we have to apply the exponent rules we learned last week. To either drop numbers down to the bottom if it's a negative exponent, or maybe if it's a negative exponent in the bottom, we bring them up to the top. So let's see how a couple of those things look. Yesterday we talked about if we're converting from radical form to exponent form, this number goes in the top of our fraction exponent, and this number goes in the bottom of our fraction exponent. So we can rewrite this as x to the negative 4 over 3. That's not a 3. 3. So, the negative 4 goes on top, the 3 goes on the bottom. However, we don't want to leave this with a negative number, so we have to do something with this. And last week we talked about if we have a negative exponent, we drop that whole term to the bottom of a fraction. So this will look like this. 1 over x, and now it'll be to the positive 4/3. Alright, let's take another look at one. Let's look at 5. This one's slightly more complicated. First thing, notice this negative 6 exponent here, that only affects the r. That negative 6 is not attached to the q. So we're going to have to write these as two terms. One term will be the q, one will be the r, but only the r will have a negative 6 in it. The q will not. So that will look like this. Q, and the exponent of the q right now is 1. So since it's the 9th root, it will be 1 over 9, and then r, and now negative 6 over 9. And now we have to take this one a step further. The q is fine in the top because 1/9 is positive, but negative 6/9 is not positive. So we have to drop the r term down. So this becomes q to the 1/9 divided by r. And now it'll be the positive 6/9, but 6/9 does reduce to 2/3, so it'll be positive 2/3. And that is our final answer. Alright, let's look at a couple others. Now we have a fraction exponent, so we want to write this as a radical. So this will be radical and x involved, and since it's a negative 5/3, the top number is negative 5, it'll be x to the negative 5th, and it'll be the 3rd root of that. Same thing here. Since both bottom numbers are 5, we know it's going to be the 5th root of something, and what it's going to be is x to the negative 3rd times y to the positive 3rd. Alright, let's flip to the next. We'll do a couple more. Now, it says simplify each expression first, then convert to the radical expression. So we're going to have to apply a couple of our exponent rules again from last week, particularly a power to a power, and then we'll convert to the radical form. So we need to take this 2/3 and we need to multiply it by negative 4. That becomes x to the negative 8 over 3. Now changing it to radical form, since the bottom number here is a 3, it's going to be the 3rd root of x to the negative 8. Now we'll do that in reverse as well. So first thing to notice here, we have two x terms. They are multiplying to each other, so we need to take their exponents and add their exponents. So we can rewrite this as the 7th root of x, and negative 3 plus 5 is 2. So 7th root of x squared. And now we want to write this as a fraction exponent. So this is going to be x, the 2 needs to go in the top of the fraction, so 2, and the 7 needs to go in the bottom, so 2 to the 7th. That might be unclear. We'll rewrite that again. X to the 2/7 power. And that's our final answer.